everyone, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do Get Sketchy with Christy and Rachel. For this episode we are doing a sketch, and it's the one that we found by Laura Whitaker from scrappingaroundtheclock.blogspot.com if you want to check out this one. If you are a part of the Victoria Marie Facebook group, you would have found this sketch for a challenge back at the beginning of this month in April. We're in April of 2016 right now. And I believe that Sarah Swan had picked this sketch as well. But Rachel and I pick all of this stuff a month in advance, so we decided to just go with it. And we'll see what we can create here. So this is the sketch. I'm really excited to do this sketch. It looks like a lot of fun. I love this layering effect. I think I'm going to try and use only scraps, but we'll see how that goes. I haven't picked my paper yet. I have kind of chosen a few photos to choose from. So these were taken on the same day. This was the day after Christmas of last year. I have a photo of myself that you can see me, and then Jackson's playing with his new toy that he got for Christmas. And then this is just the shot of him playing with his toy, and my feet are right there. That was an accident. I knew I was going to crop that into a 4x4. I just liked how everything was laid out and he's just playing. I just like the angle I had taken of that photo. I have this photo here of Sean and Jackson after Jackson had just gotten out of the bath and ran to Daddy, and just have this adorable little, I just had to take it. So he's this little towel, it's a frog, so I was going to play off of that somehow, but I've got that one. I have this photo taken on Christmas Day. This was at dinner time at my in-laws' house, and it was just happened to be our family photo for Christmas, and it's super imperfect, but I don't know, I really love it. Something happened that made me laugh, and Sean's aunt happened to catch it, and so I've got a hilarious look on my face. Can you see my laugh there? And then just Sean watching Jackson, and Jackson's looking up, and I love it. It's cute, and this was very much how last Christmas went, so that's that. I also have this one to pick from, and this is back at the beginning of maybe summer of last year. And Jackson, he refuses to let anything be on the couch. Everything has to go on the floor. And it's a story I've been wanting to tell, and I have a few photos for it, but I think this one kind of sums it up perfectly, because you can see there's nothing on the couch. Everything happens to make its way onto the floor. And this is just background, so I can trim that to make it into a 4x4 to fit in with the sketch that we're using. So I'm going to get you on fast forward and grab my pattern papers and see what I can create, and then pick out my photo.
So I'm going to start off here looking at my photos and trying to decide which photos are going to go best with which pattern papers that I had pulled. I pulled 3 different sets of 6x6 pads, and I just was trying to find what would go well, what I wanted to use, what I thought would layer well, and in the end, this last photo that you see right there is going to win it. Partly it was because it was already kind of a mess that Chamel's 6x6 I've obviously torn into it, so I thought it would be a good one to just choose and go from there. So I'm just going to kind of grab some pattern papers from this collection. I still am not exactly sure which ones I want to use for what, where is going to go where in layering. Just trying to grab the colors to try to eventually get to the point where I can make it do what I want it to do. The one nice thing about this collection is that even though it is a pink in her collection, and it is pink, you can tell it's pink, laying it out on when I create it, it doesn't read as pink as I say it would in another way. It more, to me, read as red. So I really enjoyed that, because of course I'm scrapbooking a boy, and I have a feeling down the line he's going to be like, Mom, you scrapbooked a lot of pink with me. But it's not that I'm trying to make girly papers work, it's just I find that it works. So it's just how I do it. It doesn't bother me. I know I say that a lot, but using pink doesn't bother me on a boy layout, especially in this small amount that I do. For example, I am going to use that polka dot paper right there to highlight the photo. It looks really well on that, and that is a pink polka dot, but it doesn't read pink whatsoever. So that's my first choice, was to try to decide what was going to be the background. And then I'm just trying to now decide, I think there's 5 different layers I'm trying to use here. So the first layer is to back my photo, and then I'm going to take the really pretty blue and use that as the next layer, and it just has random words on there. I then take the heart paper with the gradient of the color there and make it look like a big long strip, and I really love the way that that looks. It's really neat. And then finally, what I'm going to try to decide is what is going to make the banner part. I wanted to do the hearts, but it was too close, so that wasn't going to work. I then thought about the polka dot, but there was already so much pattern, like actual pattern on the papers already, that I thought maybe more of a muted pattern would be a better idea. So I decided to use this, and it's an off shade blue compared to the other blue that's on the layout already. And I'm just going to fishtail it, and I really like the way that that looks. It's a nice mix to everything. I am going to go ahead and bring out I have Stampin' Up ink, and it's like a chalk ink. And I'm going to use that to just kind of put around every single layer of that, just to help make it stand out a little bit. I think in the end, it looks really well. I picked the wrong color. I think I picked chocolate chip or early morning espresso or something a little bit darker than I probably should have. I should have probably gone more with a gray. But all I did is I just highlighted the corners and then took a baby wipe and just kind of went around with it as well to soak up some of the ink, and it didn't come out as dark as I thought it was going to. So that worked out okay. The other thing I knew about this layout that I wanted to do is add in that little record in the blue. It's got a little heart in the middle, and it's so cute, and I really wanted to get that added into my layout. I also cut one little piece from that 6x6. I love it. It's got a bunch of different little tags and stuff that you can use, and instead of thinking of it as a 6x6 sheet of pattern paper, I just thought of it as a cut apart. So I did pull a couple pieces to see if I could get that put on the layout in any way. So that's where I am with that. There I'm showing you that I'm going to use my ink, and I don't even think you can read it, but I think it's called Early Espresso is what it's called. So I just went like that, and then I also thought for a moment it might be neat to do a little bit of mixed media. So I used just a bit, dabbed it on the cloth I had already been using, which of course was a very silly idea because the cloth had early morning espresso on it, so it was muddy. But I tried it and to see what it would do. I also grabbed the blue to see if adding some blue would help. And in the end, though I've kept this piece of mixed media, I'm going to put it aside and try to use it on something else and salvage it for another layout. It definitely isn't meant to be for this layout. So I did attempt it, and I wanted to show you that it doesn't always work out. Your ideas they don't always work. Sometimes you need to go back to just a fresh, clean sheet of white paper, and that's what I did here. So that's going to go away, and I'm going to come right back with everything nice and glued down. I also wanted to show you when I tore out this piece of white paper, I accidentally tore it. So I took a piece of, it's from the Crate Paper Wonder collection. I took a piece of just the black pattern paper from there and cut a strip. I really like that. There is a doily in the sketch, so I did add a black doily as well. And I'm going to title this layout Floor Fan. Now, you would think it would be, because if you can see in the photo, Jackson's sitting on the floor, but it doesn't have anything to do with that. So what it has to do with it is the fact that, and it's still now, like this photo was taken in probably summer of last year, and he still does this. If he can reach it, he's going to put it on the floor. He just has this thing that nothing belongs up high, everything belongs on the floor at his level where he can get to it. And his favorite thing is clothes. He loves to grab them and just swing them in his hand all day long and then let them fly. He thinks it's hilarious. And I know it's not going to last forever, so even though I don't love that our house tends to be a huge mess, and Sean and I have to find a trail to get to our couch half the time after we put Jackson to bed, it's a stage in his life, and I just really want to document the fact that it's happening. The other thing I wanted to do is I'm having a hard time using these washi strips. They're so beautiful, but I'm having a hard time using them. So I was determined to get some of them on today's with this layout. So I just grabbed one that was really close to the pattern of the fishtail pattern paper there. And I'm just going to put it up at the top. And I like that. I think it helps balance the layout. And the two colors are represented at the top and the bottom. And then I just did a little bit of stitching and wrote my journaling, which is basically what I just told you. And then comes the fun part of embellishing. So I finally used another one of these Heidi Swap stickers I've had for a long time, and it just says enjoy. And then I grabbed another sticker that just says little memories. Perfect fitting for what's going on. He's young. Like I said, it's not going to last forever, so documenting that. I bring in that little record heart that I was talking about, and then another one of the pink. I love that mix. It's a great little spot there. And then I'm just going to look around and see if I can find anything else. For the most part, this layout isn't actually very heavily embellished. I kept it pretty simple, which for me is, I normally over embellish, so it was good. I did try to add that little black, it's a part of the puffy sticker from the title, but it doesn't make it on the layout. It's too dark. I couldn't make it work the way I wanted it to. So as you can see, I'm going to go through everything I have. What I do decide is that I can spell out the year 2015 in these cool black and gold tiles, and these are from the Making Homes, I think it's the Open Book collection. And so I am going to get those onto the layout. Not exactly sure at the moment where they're going to go, but in the end they go right up at the top of my photo. And I also find a little heart. I did try that plus sign, but it didn't work. But within that sticker, there is a little gold heart, and I'm going to put it right where it says in between the floor and plan. And what that does is it helps bring out the fact that there's gold in the letters or in the numbers. So that tied in the gold there. And let's see, do I do anything else with my embellishing? I don't think so. What I am going to do is pull out some frames because, again, in the layout, the original sketch, there's frame that goes in between the photo and the piece of the fishtail. So I'm going to do that, decide which ones I want it to look like. I first wanted to try this black, but it was way too much black. So I said no to the black. I'm going to pick the yellow. It's a really neat little pop of yellow. I love it. I couldn't have picked it better if I tried. And then that other gray frame is just going to be for an accent. And with that, wraps up my layout. Please remember to go check out Rachel's take on this sketch, and we'll be back really soon with another one. Thanks, everyone. Bye.